Some comic characters do not need to be evil to become terrifying. A child with a cosmic cube, a man trapped inside a weapon of mass destruction, and a cosmic giant who could destroy Earth just by arriving, all prove the same thing. Sometimes the scariest threat is a hero who loses control at the worst possible moment. If you're into comics and nerd content like this, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Damage begins as Ethan Elvis Avery, a soldier who only wanted to serve his country, until a top-secret program turns him into something closer to a walking disaster. DC describes him as a living, breathing, ticking time bomb, because when the monster takes over, Ethan has no control. For 1 hour a day, Damage is unleashed with enough destructive force to be treated as cheaper than a nuclear warhead and twice as effective. What makes him fit this list is that Ethan is not trying to destroy anything. The tragedy is that the weapon inside him can do it anyway. His early stories throw him against the Suicide Squad, and later even the Justice League steps in because he becomes too dangerous to ignore. Damage is a man trapped behind a countdown, hoping the world survives the hour when his own body becomes a weapon of mass destruction. Elixir begins as Joshua Josh Foley, a popular kid from Queens whose mutant gift turns out to be far more frightening than simple healing. Marvel classifies him as an Omega-level mutant who can manipulate organic matter, which means he can repair bodies, regenerate tissue, and pull people back from the edge of death. After starting close to the anti-mutant Reavers, that irony becomes even sharper in his story. That is what makes him dangerous without looking cosmic. Josh does not need a planet-sized explosion to become a catastrophe. He only needs to lose control of biology itself. His power can give life or take it away, and his darker side has shown how quickly healing can become killing. In the wrong moment, Elixir could turn a battlefield, a city, or even a population into something his own body cannot safely fix. Firestorm begins with Ronnie Raymond and Professor Martin Stein fused by a nuclear accident into one superpowered body, the Nuclear Man. DC describes him as one of Earth's most powerful superheroes, able to emit deadly nuclear fire, absorb radiation, fly, and rearrange atoms and molecules. That means his real danger is not just flame. It is having nuclear energy and matter control inside one unstable hero. The scary part is that Firestorm often depends on cooperation between two minds sharing one form. If that balance breaks, a power meant to save people could become a physics disaster. He can turn inorganic matter into almost anything he imagines, which sounds heroic until you picture one bad instinct at atomic scale. Firestorm could try to stop a crisis and accidentally create a new one no bomb squad could understand. Wiccan begins as William Billy Kaplan, a young Avenger whose magic is tied to the impossible legacy of Scarlet Witch and Vision. Marvel presents him as Wanda Maximoff's reincarnated son, with reality warping potential inherited from one of the most unstable powers in Avengers history. He started under the codename as Guardian, but his true path was always much stranger than throwing lightning as a young hero. What makes Billy terrifying is that his spells do not always feel like normal magic. They can reshape reality when intention and power line up. His abilities once spiraled enough for the Avengers to take him seriously as a possible threat, and his future is tied to the Demiurge, a cosmic being feared by ancient forces like Dormammu and Moradun. One emotional mistake from Wiccan could rewrite far more than a fight. Proteus begins as Kevin McTaggart, the son of Moira McTaggart, but his mutation turns him into something closer to a living tear in reality. Marvel describes him as a psionic energy being who needs human hosts to stay alive, forcibly possessing people and burning through their bodies. With a thought, he can warp organic matter, inorganic matter, and energy around him, making the world itself unstable fast. What makes Proteus terrifying is that survival and destruction are almost the same thing for him. Every host he takes is eventually consumed, and using his reality-warping power only speeds up that process. He can affect minds, bodies, and the environment so completely that fighting him becomes less like a battle and more like trying to survive inside broken physics before his next body fails again for everyone. Starbrand begins as Kevin Connor, an ignored college student who receives one of the Marvel Universe's most dangerous cosmic systems during a broken white event. The Starbrand is meant to choose a proper planetary defender, but this time the process misfires. When Kevin receives it, the power erupts instantly, destroying his college campus and everyone caught in the blast around him before he understands anything. That origin makes Kevin one of the clearest examples of accidental destruction in comics. He is not trained, chosen wisely, or emotionally ready. He simply wakes up carrying a weapon built to protect a planet with force that can also destroy one. Even after joining the Avengers against the Builders and Thanos, Starbrand still feels like a cosmic defense system placed inside a scared young man by mistake forever. Genis-Vell begins as the son of Mar-Vell, the original Captain Marvel, and at first he seems like a heroic legacy character built to honor his father's name. But his power is not just strength or energy blasts. Through the Niga bands and his cosmic awareness, Genis becomes aware of events across time and space, including threats before they happen, until knowing too much starts breaking his mind completely. That is where his danger becomes universal. Marvel explains that Genis was pushed past sanity by his cosmic power and eventually helped destroy the entire universe with entropy, only to help rebuild it afterward. Even later, his abilities turned against allies as often as enemies. Genis-Vell proves that seeing everything does not make someone safer. Sometimes it makes the universe itself less stable for anyone. Kobik begins as a living cosmic cube in the form of a little girl, created from fragments S.H.I.E.L.D. tried to control. Marvel says her mind developed like a 4-year-old's, but her power can create almost anything from nothing. That contrast is what makes her scary. Maria Hill used her to build Pleasant Hill, a prison where villains had their memories, identities, and entire lives rewritten against their will. The danger is not that Kobik wants to hurt people, but that reality bends before she fully understands consequence. Red Skull manipulated her into seeing Hydra as good, leading her to rewrite Steve Rogers' life and create Hydra Captain America. She also nearly killed Moonstone by ripping the source of her power from her chest. With Kobik, one childish mistake can change history, governments, heroes, and reality. Jakeem Thunder begins as Jakeem Williams, a young hero who inherits control of the Thunderbolt, a fifth-dimensional genie living inside a pink pen. That sounds playful, but DC describes the Thunderbolt's magic as powerful and sometimes clumsy. Jakeem is not just throwing energy blasts. He is giving commands to a reality-bending force that can twist one simple wish into something enormous and weirdly unpredictable. That makes Jakeem dangerous in a very different way. He does not need rage, madness, or a cosmic explosion to cause disaster. A badly worded command, a panic reaction, or one magical misunderstanding could spiral into chaos before anyone realizes what happened. The absurd part is that this same Thunderbolt can defeat massive threats in seconds, which means the power behind Jakeem is almost too flexible to feel safe. Infinaut begins as a cosmic being so massive that even entering Earth's dimension becomes a planetary threat. Marvel says his gravity was dangerous enough that Blue Marvel and his son Kevin had to stop one manifestation with antimatter before it destroyed the planet. The twist is that Infinaut is not invading or attacking anyone. He is simply too large for Earth to survive his full arrival without help at all. That makes him one of the cleanest examples of accidental apocalypse. The Ultimates eventually learn that the solution is not to beat him, but to help him manifest safely by shrinking him with technology connected to PIM particles. Infinaut turns the whole idea of a superhero fight upside down. The world is endangered not by his evil plan, but by the physics of something trying to say hello at full cosmic scale. There are many other heroes capable of causing this kind of destruction, and that is the scary part. Some of them are not villains, some are protectors, kids, soldiers, or heroes trying to help. But in comics, one mistake can turn even good intentions into a disaster.